Welcome, everybody. I am Val Thompson, and I am today's host for iFocusPodcast. We are very excited about our guest today. She is somebody we've been looking forward to hearing from and all about how she got involved with the organization that she founded. So with no further delay, let's introduce Ivette Mayo, founder and CEO of Power on Heels Fund, Inc.,
Oh,
right? So Ivette, how are you today?
oh, I'm wonderful. I'm excellent. Thank you so much for having me here on IF Inc. or Focus. I'm super excited to have this conversation. This is long overdue, sir.
Absolutely. Yvette, first, let's get right to it. First, tell us a little bit about yourself and walk us through your background, if you will.
Well, I think I want to start from where I'm from. I'm from a little island called Puerto Rico. I'm from a little town called Manatí, and I'm from a little neighborhood or barriada, or we call them here in Houston, a ward. It's called El Tamarindo. My grandparents were sugarcane workers. They were just very humble people, hardworking people, but they knew education was important, and they moved and created an opportunity for my aunts and my uncles to have a better life. When I left Puerto Rico, I was in the second grade. My father joined the Navy, and we moved to the Mecca of all international travel, Norfolk, Virginia. But the reason I'm telling you this story is because I left this very small hometown community where everyone knew each other and all our family was, to a community that we knew nothing about. 1968 or the U.S. It was things were happening in history, and it was new to us. But one thing that happened from that point on is that from second grade to seventh grade, my brother and I went to 13 different schools. And then from seventh grade to high school, we moved 5 more times. So that just kind of gives you an idea a little bit about how much we moved. But the reason I'm telling you this story, a little bit about my background, is because my background is filled with change. When we moved to each community, we had to basically get introduced to a new community, new language, new culture. But what we call now assimilation and acculturation, back then we were surviving. But that has basically helped me throughout my career, because I feel that I'm not only a change agent, I adapt to change well, and most importantly, I welcome change. And throughout my career, that has been something that has helped me. So a little bit about myself and my career, and my professional development. I was in banking. I also worked in the airline industry for many years for our hometown carrier called Continental Airlines, and then United. And then I finally started my own business. But when I was working in the airline business, I found myself working with international teams and in international groups throughout the world: Latin America, Africa, Asia, Europe, and a lot of our partners. And one of the things that I found back then that I know now and know every day, that people do not deal well with change. And sometimes we have to encourage change. We have to feel like we're disruptive. So for me and my nature, I think I'm a disruptor by nature, because not only do I welcome change, I create change. But I realize that's not easy for everyone. So in 2004, I left my 30-year career and moved on to my own business. I have a training and consulting firm that I love, because down to my core, I'm a teacher. I love helping people learn something that's going to make them better. My personal motto is, I want to leave people different than I found them. So through teaching and workshops, different topics, soft skills, I was able to help people accelerate their careers, build stronger businesses, build better relationships, but most importantly, grow. I felt like that was something that was in my calling and my purpose, to be a teacher and to teach others how to be successful. So through my business, it's called Yo Soy I Am LLC. I became a facilitator, a consultant, a keynote speaker. I started doing all these different things that also led to me writing a book and doing all these things that just basically were opened, opportunities that were open and created for me. What I love most about my journey is that I've met amazing people along the way that have helped me grow, but have taught me so much about life and how to get to that next level. So being a teacher and working in these areas, it's helped me be to share that information. But along the way, I've picked up tools and resources that have helped me build. But I also know that it's also a choice to grow and to accept change and move forward. I also feel that it's a choice. And I'm always kind of stumbled when I find people who are having difficulties dealing with change, accepting change and moving forward and finding ways to grow. So for me, that just becomes my fuel. I want to help people be different and most importantly, be better. So over time, I was exposed to women who were needing information, looking for resources, who were needing mentors or coaching. And that's the role I started fulfilling in a lot of people's lives. I created a small platform on Facebook as a way of keeping people together and connected to my messaging and to my tools and to my resources. And then one day I had an opportunity to meet a young lady named Dolores Huerta, who basically loved what I was doing kind of in an impersonal way. And she says, you need to turn this into a nonprofit. Organizations around the world need this type of training, but most importantly, they need to hear it from you because you're so passionate about helping people adapt to change. She says, you need a nonprofit. So in 2008 and 17, I had that conversation. And 6 months later, I had my IRS 501c3 and Power on Heels took off 5 years ago. So I feel like life had prepared me for everything that's happening around me right now.
Great. Yvette, with that, I want to ask you a question about that. So what is the Power on Heels Fund? And what are the benefits for members and or associates, if there is any? I don't know if it's a membership organization or association. What is Power on Heels Fund?
Power on Heels Fund is an organization focused specifically around Latinas and helping them overcome the gender pay gap. Latinas face gender pay gap at the lowest level than any other female group or any other demographic in today's workplace. And so the things that we do is we provide training, soft skill training to help them become their best advocate in today's marketplace. We want Latinas to fill those leadership gaps that exist out there. We want them to make more money, see their worth, create generational wealth for their family, but most importantly, be in a place where they are confident Latina leaders leading and influencing wherever they are. So what we do is we provide a list of trainings, a host of training classes that fulfill 3 key areas: leadership, emotional intelligence, and financial mastery. Through those 3 skills, we feel are really important to help a Latina become a confident leader who creates not only money, but generational wealth for her and her family, the things that matter most. Our training is about connecting women to their why, what they do, why they're passionate about it, but most importantly, what they want in life. So we're building confident Latina leaders to help create pipelines in schools, in industries and corporations around the country, around Houston, and hopefully around the world.
Yvette, what year was Power on Heels Fund founded? And it sounds very interesting, but however, is it a local, national, or global organization?
We were founded through our IRS papers in May of 2018. We had our first event in January 2019, and we have hit the ground running ever since. We do local events here in Houston, Texas. Prior to the pandemic, we did everything in person. And then 2020 happened, and we moved all our programming online. So since then, we continue to do both in-person and virtual programming. And by going virtual in 2020, we were able to connect our programs to women not only throughout the Houston area, the country, but we were able to also bring in women from different parts of Latin America and different parts of the world. So, thank God for virtual platforms like Zoom and other virtual platforms that allow us to connect to our global community, our national community, but also our local community who can't always make it in person. So we've been doing this, and we continue to grow our audience not only through our social media, through our YouTube channel, but also through our website. And I think that the number to date we have had in terms of attendance, registrations, in person, as well as virtual, we have covered close to almost 3,700 women in the last 4.5 years.
Wow, that is very interesting. Now, what I'm hearing is this is a Latino organization, correct?
Yes. Well, we teach skills that adapt to everyone, but we teach it through a Latina lens. Our facilitators are usually of a Hispanic heritage. I spoke earlier about my Hispanic heritage. I'm from Puerto Rico. We do everything in English with a little Spanglish sprinkled in with a little thing here and there just to make it. But it's training that anyone. It's empowering. It's inspiring. It is about shifting. Creating that shift that people need, because you know what, and maybe you can agree to this, Val, is I believe before change could happen, people have to have a desire to change. They have to want to change, right? And a lot of times people get to a point where things are difficult and frustrating, and they want change, but they don't have a way of going about it. But to be honest with you, it starts with the first thing. You have to want the change. That way you can find the solutions and the answers. And so our programs really inspire and empower these women to choose the change they want in their lives.
That's absolutely true. Nobody can change. No one can be made to change. They have to want change. But again, a little coercion doesn't hurt. So you start an organization to help people get started on the changes they may want to make. So that's excellent. Mm-hmm. I'm enjoying every minute of this interview. But I know you founded a few organizations. You founded this organization, and I think you found a few others that I read in your bio. However, tell us about some organizations that you are members of, that you're a member of. I know you have to be in this town.
Well, I collaborate with a lot of different organizations as far as being a full-on member. I believe at working with organizations that are being disruptive, creating change in their communities, and that are in alignment with promoting culture, as well as business acumen, financial mastery in the lives of men and women. As far as being a member, I have to tell you, I participate with a lot of them, but I'm not fully a member. But there's just some things that I always attend, the Hispanic Chamber events. There's other small local chambers they're doing amazing things in terms of entrepreneurship and helping people build businesses that are meant to grow. And as far as national, I participate with a lot of different organizations. There's Pro Hispanica, there's ACE, there is also Alpha. These are all organizations that are in the Hispanic marketplace to drive Hispanic professionals to grow in these industries, whether it's finance, whether it's leadership. And those are organizations for the last, at least 15 years that I've fully participated on as a facilitator, as a speaker, as a mentor, a full-on participant. So it's important to collaborate with others and also get these different perspectives about things that I see in each and every day, and find out how we can all collaborate and work together to resolve certain issues. And so I'm an active participant in our community in many things. And but that's how we get things done, right? People have to show up and play hard, full on.
You got to show up. Now, I know just listening to some of the things you've been involved with and organizations that you founded, you must have been honored at some point or another. So tell us maybe about some honors you've received and from whom.
Oh, goodness. Um, can we go down the list? It's so funny how, you always tell people you got to be ready to tell people about yourself. And it's so humbling when you get a chance to share, right? The things that make you shine. So for me, I've been honored of being in 2009 Latinas magazine, the largest magazine for Hispanic women in the city, in the country. They honored me with the Entrepreneur of the Year award for my for the business I created at the time was one of my many companies. That one is called Yo Soy Expressions. It was a line of bilingual cards. I've also I'm a certified coach, so I have been honored by I just can't remember the name of the company, as one of the top leading career coaches for women in the world in 2020. I was one of 40 women. Only 5 were from the United States, and the remaining 35 were from different countries around the world. Because as a coach, I was recognized for my efforts there. Here locally, the city of Houston, in the city of Houston, the Houston Business Journal last year, I received the Woman to Watch Award. Woman Worth Watching. And just as the work that we're doing with Power on Heels and all the other things that I do. And let's see here, the National Diversity Council gave me the Excellent Advocate Award for the work that I do with diversity and inclusion around the country, not just here locally. Those are just to name a few. But I think the most important awards are also the ones we also at home. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, and I'm a grandmother. And those are labels that I love to wear. But I think the most rewarding thing for me is when a woman walks up to me and says to me, I went to one of your events, or I saw you at here, and you changed my life. You made me think differently. Most importantly, you made me do this. And because of this message or how I felt, I'm now here because of something you said. So all those awards are nice to have. Those are great labels to have. But I think the greatest impact I always cherish the most is knowing that when someone tells me that I made a difference in their lives and they're better for it. So those are the prizes that I enjoy the most.
I share your sentiment on that one. I enjoy knowing that I have impacted someone's life in a positive way, and when that has happened, I'm very excited, and that really is all the honor I would love to have the rest of my life. But however, I must announce I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that congratulations are in order for you from the Houston International Trade Development Council. You have been selected, you've been nominated and selected to receive the Outstanding Advocate Award, which I believe, as president of the organization, is most appropriate for you. You have been an advocate in your community and doing a lot of great work. And I'm hearing things now that I hadn't even read in your bio. And we feel even more excited about presenting you this award October 19th at the venue, the Junior League. I barely got that out. We're at the Junior League, October the 19th, 2023, and we will present you with the Outstanding Advocate Award, and you're so deserving on your side. And thank you for accepting it. We're very excited about you accepting it.
I'm so honored. And, the word advocate the word advocate has such a profound meaning, right? It is someone who truly believes in something and fights and just moves forward and there's determination, there's power behind that word advocate. And I really am honored to know that you have honored me with this award, that my efforts are seen, and that and I appreciate that. I humbly accept this. But I think it's so important that people also who are listening to this also know that they are advocates too, and they need to be advocates for themselves, right? We always feel
Right.
strong about others, but how do we help you become your best advocate? There's so much injustice and things going on in the world, but it takes action and people to show up each and every day. So if you can't show up for anyone else, show up for yourself and advocate for yourself. Open your mouth, use your words. Your words have power, your actions have power, and most importantly, use your power to succeed. So thank you for this wonderful honor. I cannot wait for the 19th. I just have to figure out what am I going to wear.
You look fabulous, whatever you wear. But I want to go back to something you said. You were giving me credit, but however, you were selected, nominated, and selected by a committee of 7
Awesome.
unanimously. So I wouldn't want to leave that out. When you said thank me, I would love for you to thank the committee because they're very excited about and had no problem at all in a unanimous way. Uh, you know, selecting you as our 2023
Oh,
outstanding
thank
advocate.
you.
I just want to say that on behalf of my committee.
Oh
Yeah.
no, well, thank everyone
So,
who.
is there anything I haven't asked that you'd like to share with our viewers or listeners?
Well, I always want to think about the word empowerment and advocacy and all those things. But I think one of the things that we have to remember is purpose and passion. So wherever you are, whether you're a small business owner or your corporate career, you're a student, wherever you are listening to this, is the question I have is, what is your purpose? What are you passionate about and why? And I would want you to become your own best advocate, whatever it is. It's not just, it's not age, it's not sex, it's not heritage. Wherever you are, people have the ability to change. And so we started with the conversation about being change agents. So I personally just want to thank everyone who's listening and who's here. And I hope that you heard something today that will inspire you to do something. Read a new book, find a new mentor, ask more questions, become more curious. It has inspired you to do something so you can level up to that next level, whatever it is. But I just want to thank Val for the work that he does, not only through this podcast, but through his council and his association and all the people who are members. And I believe that all of you are change agents wherever in all the areas that you're in. And I just want to celebrate everything that you do. And then most importantly, that you acknowledge the good that's being done in the community by not only myself, but by the other honorees, and that you found a forum to celebrate what we do and also honor what we do through the special award. So thank you for letting me be part of this today.
You bet. Thank you, Ivette Mayo, founder and CEO of the Power on Heels Fund. You have been a wonderful guest, and we've got to bring you back. We got to bring you back. I want to also say, Yvette, congratulations on your anniversary. I just wanted to mention that.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Oh, you're stalking me on Facebook. You need to stop that.
I could not leave that out. That was so wonderful, and you know, um, you know, the caption that you created was heartfelt, and I'm so happy for you guys. That's what I want to say.
And
It
I
was
have to tell
wonderful to
you,
see that.
I appreciate it, and I think that everyone out there, I didn't come from a family that had entrepreneurship and told me I was going to be president, that I could write a book, that I can do all these things. I was going to have a nonprofit. I didn't come from a family that's the things that were encouraged in me. But it only takes one person to believe in you, besides yourself, right, to encourage you. And luckily for me, it was someone who saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, and that was my husband. And he's been a great encourager, a great advocate, a great supporter of what I do. So I'm so thankful not only that he is my husband, but the fact that he is such a supporter of what I do. And I know that doesn't happen everywhere. in every situation. But I feel like that's the biggest blessing. It's not just that he's my husband. He's my partner. He's my supporter. He's my advocate, and he's my worker. Like, honey, can you get that banner up? So he's fully involved, and that's a blessing. So happy 24th, honey, wherever you are.
Thank you, Ivette Mayo, founder and CEO of Power on Heels Fund, Inc. And to our viewers and listeners, thank you for joining us. And please subscribe to this podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you for your time.